Hi everyone, it's Chenso from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about Survivor Season 49, Episode 6, titled The Devil's Shoes. Last week on Survivor, tensions continue to flare on Kele between Shannon and Sage, but when Kele won immunity and chickens, it was ultimately Jason on Hina who was told to get clucked. Before I dive in, I put a link in the description to my playlist to catch up on my previous recaps. If you like the content, consider liking, subscribing, and using my link to try Paramount Plus for free. It's my annual Halloween special. Keep an eye out throughout the video. 5 of our survivors will pop in to show off their Halloween costumes. Everyone who can spot and name 3 costume survivors in the comments will get a shout out in next week's video. The first 5 commenters to do it can claim free merch from me. But let's dive into it. The Hinas return to camp, declaring themselves a strong 5 to go to the end. Jawan sees Sophie B as the obvious target if they go back to tribal, but Savannah still can't get over the sticks in the bag and still wants Jawan out. The next day, they head straight to a challenge. No chant from Kelly this time, and no one is really surprised when Jason is voted out. Jeff says the weather is crispy. Then Alex tells Jeff about their winner chicken dinner, which annoys Savannah, who must be the most annoyed person in Fiji. Jeff teases the group, telling them they could be going to Mergatory, but they're not. Jeff is splitting them into 3 tribes. The players are upset, and Jeff is loving it. The new tribes are Kele, Sage, Shannon, Steven, and Jawan, Uli, Alex, Sophie, Nate, and Christina, and Hina, MC, Sophie, Rizzo, and Savannah. Christina is looking unwell during the tribe swap. At first, it seems like she's not happy with her tribe, but she lowers to the floor, and she has to get checked out by the Silver Fox doctor, but she's fine. So they head to the reward challenge, where tribes have to push a heavy cart along a track, climb on the cart, use sticks to collect discs that they'll throw like frisbees to knock over 4 bamboo targets. First place gets grilled cheese sandwiches, salty potato chips, iced tea, and chocolate brownies for dessert. Second place gets just grilled cheese. Last place, sorry for you, you get nothing. They get started, with Uli getting to a fast start, with even Heatstroke Christina pushing that thing, and at some points, leading and directing the team. Kelly and Hina get to the disc throw first. Rizzo dominates this, winning the big reward for new Hina. Second place comes down between Alex and Steven, and Alex pulls it out. Good thing, my girly Christina needed a grilled cheese. Back at camp, the Hinas get their salty chips. Sophie B is happy to finally get some food and be in the majority on the tribe. MC is the odd person out, but she still has her beware advantage. She has no vote for now, and has a chance to get her vote back and an idol if they win immunity. MC tells Rizzo that Sage told her tribe that Rizzo has an idol. He doesn't really care if people know, and thinks them being afraid of him makes him more powerful. Uli enjoy their grilled cheese. Christina's feeling a lot better, and she's got Sophie S and Alex from her last tribe. Nate is the odd person out on this tribe. Nate's plan is to lie to the group, telling them that he was working with Jason, but Sophie suspects that Nate is lying and tells us if they go to tribal, Nate is cooked. On Kelly, the chickens have escaped. Steven catches a chicken. Crisis averted, but not for the chicken. Steven is the odd person out on this team, with 3 original Ulis, but Steven bonds with Jawan over dad jokes and Marvel. As of now, Jawan tells us this will be an easy vote against Steven if they lose. On Uli, Alex has a beautiful moment of spearfishing in slow motion. Very nice. Christina tells Sophie S that they're going to use her name as a decoy. Sophie is pissed, so she decides she wants to team up with Alex and plot against Christina. Alex seems like he's down. On Kele, Shannon likes Steven, but Shannon knows she needs to keep Sage close, clutching Sage's arm as they walk, but Sage tells us she feels like Shannon is a snake and still wants to give Shannon her karma. On Hina, Rizzo takes a stab at spearfishing, but he's a mess, calling his fins the devil's shoes. Oop, he said the thing. He gives up on fishing, but has a cool confessional in his snorkel. Sophie B finds an advantage and decides to keep it to herself, finding out she won the knowledge's power, so she can ask another player at tribal if they have an advantage or idol and take it for herself. Later, players head to their immunity challenge, where they'll race across a cargo net to get sandbags, which they'll stack and climb on top of to get a bag of sticks and string. Then one player will use the sticks to build a pole to reach out and get a key that unlocks a table maze that they'll work together to finish. The first 2 tribes to win this will win immunity, and last place heads to tribal with Jeff. They get started fumbling over their cargo net and taking various approaches to stacking the bags. The messy stack is the best strategy, with MC getting the bag and giving Hina the lead. Now all 3 tribes are building their poles, which frustrates Christina. Sophie B nails her pole heist, getting Rizzo to the table maze first, followed by Kelly. Christina is a mess with this pole. She's got a flaccid pole she's swinging around willy-nilly. Christina does pull it together with her noodle pole. Now everyone's on the table maze. Rizzo and Savannah finish first, winning immunity for Hina, and after a few drops from Kelly, Sophie and Nate pull out a come-from-behind win for Uli, sending Shannon, Sage, Jawan, and Steven to tribal. Back at Kelly, five bets. Shannon blames Jawan for losing them the challenge, but she's excited to go to her first tribal. Shannon plots with Steven, telling Steven they need to target Jawan. She sees value in Steven being a connection to old Hina, but doesn't see a value in Jawan. He would just connect her to her old friends. So Shannon campaigns to Sage against Jawan as well. Sage is telling Shannon everything she wants to hear, but Sage still wants to get her revenge on Shannon tonight. So Sage rats Shannon out to Jawan, and they agree that Shannon should go. But they are worried about what their ex-tribe mates will think about this move. At tribal, Shannon is loving being there. She boasts that that she was able to lead meditations and encourage the tribe to lead with their hearts. Sage tells Jeff she was hoping that they would have a yogi on their tribe, which is so obviously sarcastic, but Shannon is loving to hear it, dancing around with pride. Shannon says this week, actions are going to speak louder than words. As Sage stares daggers into Shannon's back, Steven acknowledges that he could be an easy vote this round, and that's his main contribution to the conversation. Jawan is giving some 2 cents, but it's all about Sage and Shannon. Shannon smugly grinning the whole time, and Sage very annoyed the whole time. They get to voting, no advantages are played, and Jeff reads the votes. There's 1 vote in that thing for Jawan, and 3 for Shannon, whose grin fades away. She gives everyone hugs on the way out, but Sage can only offer Shannon a handshake, telling her a hug would not be genuine. So we say goodbye to Shannon, our yogi, who I found to be all over the place in her preseason interviews, but I was pleasantly surprised with how quickly she formed connections on her starting tribe. On original Uli, we saw her getting in good with everyone, bonding especially with Savannah, which was a valuable alliance. Had the tribe swap not happened, there's a strong chance that she would make it to the end and give a memorable final tribal performance. The first swap was the beginning of the end. Her mismanagement of Sage was her clear downfall, and she was outplayed by Sage, who earned the trust of the ex-Hinas, leading into this swap, again being there with Sage, which was awful for her. And this round of gameplay was pretty predictable for me. I did expect that Sage and Steven would stick together, and Jawan, at that point, isn't going to vote with Shannon. As a character, I find her more irritating than entertaining. If I were on a tribe with her, I feel like I'd just be Sage. Her methods of connecting with people are a bit obvious and over the top. She is using spirituality as a method of manipulation, which is slimy but allowed. She was mentored before the show by Boston Rob, but weirdly plays just like Coach. Overall, I leave off feeling more positively now than I did in the beginning. She has a good mind for strategy and is a decent player, but her presence on social media is a bit of a headache, and I'd be okay with her being a one-time player. But that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this swap and Shannon's departure, and did you spot the survivors in their Halloween costumes? I'll be back next week with the results of the competition and another Survivor recap. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Until next time, you know where to find me. Have a safe and happy Halloween. Bye!